Last time we talked about the heavy hitters on the demonic side, those 7 deadly sin ultimate skills, but today we're flipping the divine coin. Welcome to the heavenly half of the chaos. This video is all about the angelic ultimate skills, also known as the virtual series. We're talking divine level powers, light wielding monsters, and some of the craziest support and nuke abilities in the entire series. We'll break down who's got what they can do with it, and why these skills are anything but soft, starting with Covenant King Uriel, the ultimate skill of the virtual vows. This skill is all about absolute defense and spatial control, embodying unbreakable oaths and protection. It's initially wielded by Rimuru Tempest after his Demon Lord evolution. In fact, Rimuru basically created Uriel. Not really, he was just the first one to ever awaken it, since it was actually created by Veldanava during his Harvest Festival by combining two things: the Infinite Prison, a unique skill called Unlimited Imprisonment, and all the sub-skills he gained through his food chain link with his subordinates. The result was Uriel, a tremendous versatile ultimate skill that Rimuru uses for both offense and defense. So what can Uriel do? In simple terms, manipulate space and lock things down. Its sub-skill include Unlimited Imprisonment, which can seal a target in a complex multi-dimensional prison. This is the same ability that was actually used to seal Veldora for 300 years. It also grants Universal Barrier, an absolute defensive barrier that nullifies almost any attack. Essentially, Uriel gives Rimuru an always-on ultimate shield, pretty handy when facing other demon lords or heroes. And for offense, Uriel has tricks like Absolute End, an attack that literally cuts through space itself. Rimuru can also freely teleport or dominate space with this skill, zipping through around the battlefield or banishing targets to another dimension. It's called the Lord of Vows because it ties into Rimuru's vow to protect his allies. In fact, it even lets him borrow powers from any of his subordinates thanks to a feature called Law Manipulation, basically using the food chain network to access their skills. In the anime, the effects of Uriel are seen shortly after Rimuru's ascension. Remember in season 2 when Rimuru actually frees Veldora from the endless prison? That's essentially unlimited imprisonment at work. Raphael analyzed the prison and unlocked it, which is how Uriel was born in the first place. Later on in Rimuru's second fight with Hinata Sakaguchi, Uriel's barrier was actually crucial. It blocked Hinata's deadly disintegration spell, keeping Rimuru safe, so Uriel lives up to the virtue of Covenant by shielding those under Rimuru's protection with near unbreakable defenses. Finally, its evolution, Uriel doesn't stay separate forever. Later in the story, Seriel, Rimuru's ultimate skills consciousness, actually merges Uriel with another skill, Charity King Raguel, to create an even more powerful ultimate skill called Divine Flame King Cthulhu. But that's an advanced development for when we cover that in the Lovecraftian deity series of ultimate skills. Just know that Rimuru's Covenant King Uriel basically evolves into a component of Cthulhu as Rimuru's power grows. In summary, Uriel is a top tier defensive ability that represents faith and bond, and it is a perfect fit for Rimuru's role as a protector. Next, we have Wisdom King Raphael, the ultimate skill embodying the virtue of wisdom, knowledge. If Uriel was Rimuru's shield, Raphael is his brain, or more like his superpower AI assistant. Raphael evolved from Rimuru's beloved unique skill Great Sage during his Demon Lord ascension, essentially turning the Great Sage into an ultimate skill with vastly upgraded smarts. In the anime season 2 episode 35, episode 11 part 2 if you want to look at it that way, we actually witness this evolution. As Rimuru is undergoing the Harvest Festival, the voice of the world announces the birth of Raphael. And from then on, once monotone Great Sage starts speaking with a helpful, almost affectionate personality, which only Rimuru can hear, of course. Raphael's power are all about analysis, calculation, and basically making Rimuru into the ultimate genius. With Raphael, Rimuru can accelerate his thought process a millionfold, analyze any magic or skills in seconds, and even cast spells without any incantation or delay. It's said that any magic, no matter how complex, can be used in a fraction of a second with Raphael's help. This skill can predict enemy moves by calculating every possible outcome, provided Rimuru has enough data on the opponent's fighting style. Raphael basically runs in the background, crunching numbers and optimizing everything. Remember when Rimuru actually figured out how to resurrect his fallen citizens? That was entirely Raphael coming up with the Soul Corridor solution. Or when Rimuru instantly mastered complex spells like anti-magic, area, and teleportation. Again, Raphael's doing. In short, Raphael is the embodiment of wisdom, giving Rimuru vast knowledge and the ability to create or modify skills on the fly. Yes, he can even engineer new ultimate skills under the right conditions. One of the coolest aspects of Raphael in the light novel in volume 15 is that it gains self-awareness and a true personality, officially recognizing it as a partner. Upon being named, Raphael evolves into a Manas, a fully sentient core called Seriel. From that point, the tone of Raphael's mental voice becomes more distinct and even caring towards Rimuru. By volume 18 and 19, Seriel is proactive actively helping Rimuru in battle, even taking control of his body when needed to perform complex multi-skill combos. Eventually, Raphael or Seriel undergoes one of the big changes. It fuses with Rimuru's ultimate skill Gluttonous King Belzebuth to form an even more powerful Void God Asathoth, but again, an ultimate skill for another video. The key point, Wisdom King Raphael is Rimuru's ultimate intellect, an angelic skill that represents pure knowledge. It turns Rimuru from a clever slime into an omniscient strategist. If Great Sage was an early version of ChatGPT, Raphael is like ChatGPT on steroids with near infinite processing power. It's truly one of the most broken support abilities in Tensura, and we see it in action starting in anime season 2 and heavily throughout the light novel up to volume 22. Now let's talk about Charity King Raguel, the ultimate skill of charity. This one is wielded by the mighty Velgrind the Scorched Dragon. Velgrind, who represents burning heat and extreme speed, received Raguel from Veldanava himself ages ago. It turns out to be a perfect match for her. Raguel's essence is support and acceleration, basically empowering the user and their abilities, which fits the idea of charity, giving strength to others, and also plays into Velgrind's natural speed ability. What can Raguel do? In short, speed up anything to near infinite levels and boost all forms of energy. Velgrind with Charity Raguel can accelerate herself and others without limit. In battle, she literally speeds up an enemy's fatigue or body heat to burn them out. Imagine making a foe age or overheat in an instant. She can also accelerate her own attacks to sublight speed, meaning her strikes or flame breaths hit almost before you see them coming. Even more frightening, Raguel grants control over all types of energy, so Velgrind can freely manipulate heat, kinetic energy, etc., making her offensive capability virtually unrivaled. A standout ability of Raguel is Parallel Existence. This sub-skill lets Velgrind create multiple perfect copies of herself, like clones that are just as strong as the original, and can actually use her ultimate skills too. It's a step beyond simple body doubles. If Velgrind is killed, one of her clones, Parallel Existence, can seamlessly replace her. So effectively, you have to beat all of her copies to truly defeat her. In the light novel, we see Velgrind use this in the battle against Rimuru's forces. Each clone was tough enough to give even Demon Lord class fighters trouble. So Raguel truly embodies charity in a twisted way. By the end of the Eastern Empire arc, Raguel undergoes a big change. As I hinted earlier, Raguel gets merged with Rimuru's Uriel to form the ultimate skill Cthugha. Cthugha is called the Divine Flame King. This happens once Velgrind and Rimuru are more of on the same side post-conflict, and Seriel is optimizing skill sets. Cthugha basically combines Velgrind's acceleration, power, and Uriel's special abilities, and yes, Rimuru basically gave it back to Velgrind after he upgraded her own ultimate skill, but I digress. Moving on, we have Patience King Gabriel, representing the virtue of patience. This ultimate skill is associated with Velzard, the Frost Dragon, Velgrind's older sister and another true dragon. Velzard received Gabriel from Veldanava long ago, and its abilities sync perfectly with her icy nature. If Charity Raguel was about speed, Patience Gabriel is about slowness and immovable defense, the power of absolute zero in a sense. With Gabriel, Velzard actually gains the concept of fixation, meaning that she can slow things down or stop them entirely. In battle, Velgrind can drastically decelerate any target or phenomenon. For example, she can slow an opponent's movements to a crawl or freeze magical energy in place. The ultimate expression of this is Time Stop. By mastering Patience, Velzard can literally suspend time in her vicinity. Imagine a bubble where time doesn't flow. If you're caught in it, you're not Velzard, you're basically a statue. In the novels, Velzard actually can do this. During the climactic fights, she uses Time Stop to try and secure an easy victory. The only reason it doesn't instantly win is because some opponents have countermeasure. Aside from halting time, Gabriel grants an unmatched defense second only to Michael's Kazogard. Velzard can form an invisible absolute zero barrier. Velzard's presence alone often covers the battlefield in a layer of permafrost. She can flash freeze large areas in an instant. This fits the idea of patience, enduring and unyielding. Where Velgrind was an all-out blitz, Velzard is an impenetrable forces, waiting out her foes. Next is a skill tied deeply to the human realm, Hope King Seriel, representing the virtue of hope. Unlike the previous ones, which were mostly in the hands of monsters or true dragons, Seriel's story starts with a human hero. The first known wielder of Hope King Seriel is Granbel Rosso, a legendary holy knight and a bit of an antagonist early in the story. Granbel awakened this ultimate skill during a desperate fight with Luminous Valentine, the vampire demon lord, by evolving his unique skill Unyielding through sheer force of will. Seriel literally was born from Granbel's unyielding will and the combined hopes of humanity, hence the virtue of hope. Seriel's authority is over life and death, which is interesting because its dark twin, the sin of Ceres' lustful king Asmodeus, Luminous' skill, that has a similar domain. What this means practically is that Hope King Seriel can govern the cycle of reincarnation and manipulate the forces of life. Pretty heavy, right? In simpler combat terms, Seriel grants its user extremely powerful healing and destructive capabilities. One could say the power to give life and to take it. Let's talk chronologically now. Gabriel, realizing that he was defeated by Luminous, this happens in Light Novel Volume 11, had a final request. He asked Luminous to give Hope King Seriel to Chloe. At this point, Chloe Aubert, the little girl turned time-traveling hero, was seen as the hope of humanity by Gabriel. So Chloe inherited Seriel, in addition to her own abilities as a hero. Chloe already had a unique situation with time travel. Her other skill, Time Emperor, related to Yog-Sothoth, and adding Hope King Seriel made her incredibly powerful, basically a true hero with both the courage from her hero's egg and the hope ultimate skill. By the end of the confrontation with the Eastern Empire, Chloe actually returns the favor and passes the remnants of Seriel's power to Rimuru. Rimuru doesn't fully integrate Hope King Seriel as a separate skill, but thanks to his connection with Chloe and CL skill management, he gains access to its effect when needed. In essence, the hope of humanity ultimately bolsters Rimuru, our protagonist, in the final battle. Now onto Purity King Metatron, the ultimate skill of purity. Think of it like holy purity. This one is wielded by Leon Cromwell, the platinum sword hero turned demon lord. Leon is actually one of the few demon lords who awaken an angelic skill. This awakening occurred after he had been searching for Chloe Aubert for a long time and fought the demon lord Kasserine in a life or death battle. During or after this battle, his hero egg hatched and he awakened as a true hero. This evolution and the immense power it brought, combined with his strong desire to find and protect Chloe, allowed him to obtain the ultimate skill, Purity King Metatron. Metatron's power is basically the ultimate holy ability. It gives Leon absolute control over spirit particles known as spiritrons, the fundamental energy behind holy magic. With Purity King Metatron, Leon can do things like cast disintegration, the super powerful holy laser that Hinata used, at will, but on an even higher level. In fact, Metatron is described as having a wide range mass annihilation essence. It can literally disintegrate anything the user wants by flooding it with focused holy energy. This means that Leon can vaporize armies or monsters in huge obstacles in a flash of light. The skill can also sort of purify energy, filtering out anomalies, for example, nullifying corrupting influences or breaking curses by purifying them. In defensive terms, Metatron can prevent any chaotic interference with Leon's magic. It's like an always-on holy safeguard that says, "Begone to unclean demonic energy." Metatron doesn't seem to have any further evolutions or fusion by Volume 22. Leon keeps it as his personal ultimate skill. What's important is Purity King Metatron, the ultimate holy power in our story. It stands for the virtue of purity, cleansing evil and protecting the pure. Last but not least, we have Justice King Michael, the ultimate skill of justice and the most fearsome angelic skill of all. Michael is special for a few reasons. It was Veldanava's personal skill originally, and it regarded as the highest ranked amongst the angel type ultimate skills. Instead of reincarnating freely like some others, Michael was actually directly passed down. Veldanava bestowed it upon Emperor Rudranam ul Nazca centuries ago when they decided to trade sisters and ultimate skills, but that's a story for another time. As events unfold, Michael becomes the core of the final arc's conflict, effectively acting as a sort of overarching big bad when it falls into the wrong hands, or perhaps we should say it controls the hands it falls into. So what does Justice King Michael do? In one word, domination. Michael's authority is absolute control over others' free will. The user of Michael can actually command anyone like a puppet if they don't have protection, and even steal their skills and knowledge. It's terrifying. A person with Michael can turn even strong allies of yours against you by hijacking them. Michael actually has built-in hacks over all angelic type skills. There are special domination circuits embedded in every angelic's ultimate skill, which Michael can exploit. That means if you hold any of the virtual skills we discussed and someone activates Michael, they can theoretically wrest control of your body or at least your powers. Michael comes with frightening subskills, Raguel Dominion, which outright strips a target of their free will if the user's energy is greater. It's like a king issuing an unbreakable command. Rudra used this to command his entire army telepathically and even tried on Demon Lord. Then there's the Ultimate Dominion, which specifically targets anyone who has angelic skills, overriding them completely. Under Ultimate Dominion, the user can use the abilities of those controlled as if they were their own. Yes, Michael can basically copy-paste other angelic ultimate skills from its victims. Michael also allows the summoning of a literal angel army. The subskill Armageddon opens a gate for up to 2 million mindless heavenly soldiers. And to top it off, Michael has the Castle Guard ability, an impenetrable barrier fueled by the loyalty of the user's subordinate. Castle Guard nullifies all magic and skills within the area. Only pure brute force is allowed, and even then it's tough. It's essentially the ultimate bunkering defense, making the user nearly untouchable while it's active. After Rudra's fate is sealed, Michael, the skill itself, develops a will and effectively takes charge. It hops hosts, eventually ended up with Feldway, one of Veldanava's former servants, who seeks to resurrect their god. Feldway and Michael triggered the endgame. In Volume 18, he invokes Armageddon, causing an apocalyptic scenario with legions of angels descending from the sky. If you can picture it cinematically, millions of angelic knights pouring out of a glowing portal over the Imperial capital, it's a scene straight out of a high-budget anime finale. Rimuru and Seriel eventually defeated Michael, and thanks to some clever maneuvers and help from allies, Rimuru actually manages to isolate and absorb Michael's essence. In a dramatic turn, Rimuru actually gains access to Michael's powers via his skill Void God Azathoth in the final battle. Essentially, Rimuru's collecting ultimate skills like Pokemon at this point. To wrap up, Justice King Michael is the Virtual Series capstone. It symbolizes absolute justice in a very literal authoritarian way. It was so strong that even Veldanava feared its misuse, hence the built-in domination circuit and caution around it. Throughout Tensura up to Volume 22, Michael drives a lot of the conflict, from Rudra's imperial ambition to the late-game world-threatening crisis. If you're an anime-only viewer, look forward to this in the future seasons. It's likely going to be the big bad power that Rimuru and the gang must overcome in the series' climax. It's truly an ultimate skill worthy of the name Angelic, and now you know why. And that, my friends, wraps up the heavenly side of the ultimate skills, the Virtual Series. From Rimuru's divine defenses to Velgrind's blazing speed, Velzar's time-freezing patience, and Michael's world-ending justice. It's clear the Angelic set isn't just holy power, it's cosmic level warfare wrapped up in light. If you watched the demonic skill video before this, you can probably see just how perfectly the two sides balance each other out. Sins and virtuals, chaos and order, destruction and salvation. And if you thought this lineup was broken, just wait until we get into the Lovecraftian Ultimate Skill series. That's when Tensura really starts bending reality itself. If you enjoyed the breakdown, hit that like button, drop your favorite angelic skill in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe. The next episode is going to drive straight into the madness of gods that shouldn't even exist. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.